Hi, this is the Desert Cardinal. My name is Paul West, and welcome to my channel. If you haven't been here before, we do a discussion of issues involving mental illness and mental health and recovery and those sorts of things. What we talked about yesterday was some of the things that all of us have been through as a result of our mental illness or even prior to being diagnosed. How do we stay positive in the face of such tragedy and misfortune and rejection a lot of times? How do we not be inauthentic, but be authentically positive in spite of the circumstances that we are in? And I believe it's possible. I don't believe that there's a magic formula that if you just do this and this and this, then it's going to make everything okay. That's not how mental illness works. Now, for the typical person, they may be able to do, A, B, C, and D, and then it works, But for us, we've got to give ourselves grace to know that what works for the typical person isn't going to work for us because we're mentally ill. And we have a mental illness, and that's part of breaking the denial of mental illness. That okay, well, I take my medicine, I do all my therapy, and so everything's going to be okay. And that's just not how it works. So yesterday we talked about that. We talked about intentional positivity. And I don't know if there is such a word as positivity, but I like it, so I'm saying it. I like the idea of intentional positivity because it means that we make a choice in spite of our circumstances, in spite of what's going on. It's deeper than a choice. It's an act of the will to see things differently. And it's not easy. It's like I said yesterday, I can't guarantee you how I'm going to feel in a day or in 12 hours or 6 hours or in an hour or even in the next 5 minutes. I can't guarantee to you how I'm going to be feeling. And sometimes those feelings are so overwhelming. Somebody comes up and just says, oh, well, you just need to be positive. You just want to slap them in the face and say, it doesn't work that way. And so please don't take what I'm saying as, oh, you just need to be positive. I don't mean that. I mean intentional positivity, which means like this wall back here behind me. I talked about it yesterday that everything that's on that wall back there reminds me of something positive, a positive experience that I have, or people that are special to me, or animals that were special to me. And I can look at that wall and when I'm having a hard time, and it can help to pull me up a little, and even if it's just a little bit, that's enough, even if I gave the example yesterday, even if I just get out of bed and take a shower, some days that's about all I can do. And when I can do that, it feels so good, Taking a shower when you've been depressed and you haven't gotten up, you haven't done much, you've just been laying in bed, and you just have that horrible, just like a vice grip on your mind of the depression and the anxiety and the stuff. And when you have all that going on, man, if you can just muster up enough strength to get into the shower and take a shower, you will feel so much better. And that's being intentionally positive. You're in spite of your depression, in spite of just wanting to stay in bed, you're getting up and you're doing something. And that's a good thing, and that's a thing that we need to teach ourselves how to do more of. Another way, I don't know if we talked about it too much yesterday or not. I can't remember, but another way that helps me lift my spirits is music, and it could be dark music. It could be, something real dark and heavy, Metallica or something, These Five Down or Project 86. It could be something, very, very dark, but I relate to it and it makes me feel better. The same thing with like poetry, there's all kinds of poetry on the internet, and lots of different stuff. And the Johnny Cash, the famous song he did, "Hurt," and then Nine Inch Nails, took that song and updated it, to their version, and that's an awesome thing, and the lyrics to that song can be triggering, for some people, but for me it's an avenue, it's an outlet, and it makes me feel better sometimes when I listen to that song. There's a singer by the name of Jason Mraz, Maraz, and he, some of his interviews that I've listened to, that's where I got the whole idea of the intentional positivity. He talks about how in his songs, he's intentionally being positive in his songs, and you listen to his songs and maybe they're teeny bopper kind of sounding songs or whatever, but there is a positive vibe to them that does lift you up, and for me, that's something I can listen to that pulls me up. For you, it may be something completely different, Blues Traveler, Mumford and Sons, I'm drawing a blank, Regina Spektor, Ben Folds, any number of musicians, Bruno Mars, John Legend, John Mayer, Jack Johnson. Jack Johnson's another one. His songs are kind of happy Jack, and yeah, you don't, there's times when you don't feel like listening to it, and you're like, no, this is not gonna work. I'm gonna slash my wrists if I hear this song one more time or something, So you know. But get you a memory wall going. Even if it's just like you go out and you buy a little cork board. It's like bulletin board. Some push pins, and just hang it up and put some stuff on it. To remind you of good things, of positive things. Or if you don't have a wall, you can do that on. Get a notebook and write down in the notebook. Just make that notebook your positive notebook, and that you're just going to write down positive things in that notebook. And it could be things you're grateful for. It could be memories that you have, as a child, some good memories that you had that you remember, and that kind of pulls you out of the negativity. But that's the thing, that the negativity is almost like tapes that have been recorded in our, or MP3s that have been recorded in our mind, and that we've had this negativity downloaded into our head, and so we're having to find ways to counter the negativity so we can lift our spirits and start seeing things a little more positive. By nature, I am, they say there's like 4 basic personality types, like the sanguine, the melancholy, the phlegmatic, and for the life of me, I can't remember the 4th one. But like the melancholy person usually is introverted, a little more on the depressive side, and so by nature, I'm melancholy. I tend to be that way. Have you ever met somebody that's just like, "Hi, how you doing? I'm doing great. What's going on? And tell me about your life right now. I want to hear all about it." And you're thinking, man, is this guy for real or what? And that guy has, his personality type is sanguine, what we call sanguine. He's very outgoing, very outspoken, very, in your face, kind of thing. And that's his personality type. I would love to have that personality. Oh, believe me, I would love to have that. But we can change the stuff that's been, going over and over and over and over again in our minds. We can change it. Does it change overnight? No. Does it change in a week? Probably not. But after a period of time, it does change slowly. And that's the best kind of change, because slow, methodical change over a long period of time, that tends to stick. It's like losing weight. If you lose a bunch of weight, like in a week or two, most likely you're going to gain it back plus more. But if you lose a little bit of weight every single day over a long period of time, you're more likely to keep that weight off. And it works that way with being positive. And the other thing real quick too about being positive is that try to surround yourself with some positive people in your life that you may not have a lot of positive family members or a lot of positive friends, but find some people that you can be positive with. They can be positive with you. And the old saying goes, if you hang around the barber shop long enough, you're going to get your hair cut. Well, it's the same thing with positivity, that if you hang around positive people, you're more likely to start becoming positive than if you hang around with negative people, because nobody likes a negative person all the time. And so we have to be careful in our relationships, how much we vent and how much we talk about the negative things, because we have a lot of negative things, and we need to be sensitive to the people that we talk to, so they don't end up going, oh God, Paul's calling, he's just going to tell me all of these bad things that are going on. I don't really want to hear it right now. I'll just let it go to voicemail, and we don't want that. And so we'll talk some more. I'll do a little bit more research on being positive, and I hope today's a good day for you guys, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.